Goddamn insufferable. Goddamn insufferable. Okay, this is pathetic. This is completely pathetic. I'm not sure it's worth popping out chat and setting it to the right things. I can't believe YouTube today. I wonder what they're going to say. Like, oh, hey, you did 27 live streams. Yeah, it was 1. Thank you very much. Hey, Jonathan. These things take years off of my life, I tell you. Well, hi again. I'm doing the best I can. So while you were gone, or while I was gone, or whatever, I'm changing all of this stuff to be input sample L, which actually means I have to go in here too. Oh, also I have to change this. That was the previous value, but we know that's bad. So that should be fixed. Then so if we just do that, it's useless. But I could have it be like this. And then you can uncomment this and it will all work. You just have to recode it because there's not going to be a D and E controls in there. And yeah, by all means, continue the hip-hop thing. I'm glad you have the patience to refine the stream all the time. Speaking of things that need doing, let's keep this going. You know, honestly, I'd hoped I was going to get more done, but we did some good, solid research work on the new plugin and how the state variable filters actually work in practice. Because it turns out you can get them to do useful and interesting things, but they've got their limitations. And the textbook code is showing limitations, but we solved some of those limitations. And with a bit of luck, that'll be helpful for at least somebody. So let's see, what have we got? I'll tell you what we've got. We've got a need to remove all the excess controls. So let's start by doing that. We don't need all these. We don't need all these. We don't need those. Yeah, my stomach's rumbling. It's going to be high time for tacos. Worth doing that. Looking forward to that. Yeah, did it get warm where you're at? It's going to start doing more of that. Just in the last day or so, it's still flirting with trying to be real cold. But it's going to start bouncing back to being warm before terribly long. I honestly used very little of the firewood today. Oh no. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Why? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being good, I promise. What are we looking at here? Yes. Open widget. Okay, I'll open the widget. Is it simply not able to do my coding streams? That seems bad. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Maybe I need to make my face bigger on the screen? It is like it is freaking out because I'm streaming. So could I put some kind of little animated widget on there or something? Now we have an infinite sustain. Yeah, now we have, it goes well because we are doing the length of sustaining. We have an infinite series of smaller and smaller Chris's. Let's make them into a stack of Chris and Clipper. There, that looks nice. So I'm going to continue fussing with this, but I'm going to show this on the stream, and we'll see whether this is enough to make it be happy. Because we're still fairly static, honestly, but we're making that infinite series of things. So every now and then something moves in the screen. Meanwhile, on the actual plugin, we're deleting all of the access parameters from D to Z, which is a pretty straightforward process. Not one that you're seeing right now, but you can take my word for it. I feel like it was looking at the coding stream that was making it be upset. And now that we're looking at a slightly, well, there's another way that I can test that too, though. So, now that we have the infinite stream of Chris's, what happens if we do this? Giant Chris. Now what do we got? Let's see, and it'll probably remember this too. Let's see what it makes of this. Because it keeps saying stream health is excellent. And I'd rather you be able to see the code, but I'm also sending sort of high res, well, not a high res, it's not really HD or anything like that. It's coming off of a 4K capable camera, but it's still only HD. But we are sending a larger area here, and I can see maybe kind of viewer activity is nothing, analytics is not important, stream settings is fine, and it doesn't really give me alerts for bitrate unless it's not enough. Now if I did this, that's continuous motion, that is. So let's see whether we can fuss with this in such a way that it knows what I'm doing. Like maybe this, they call these bugs. Here's Clipper. Maybe we don't need Clipper. Or Clipper can sit in a different position and be much tinier. Here's my enclosure of all of this. And you can scooch it down to here. And we'll see whether this is enough in the frame to keep the... Because if I go to full screen, and it starts talking and sending too much data, even though my background is not moving or blinking or doing anything very much. Mind you, we could do something about that too. Like have there be something blinking in the background. And we'll see how that goes. That is at least some action. And I wonder whether I can reframe myself in the... It's always something. Did not mean to be doing this. But here we are. So that's the codec stream. Audio is fine. Here's my camera to be contained within the frame. So in theory, if I've got this part selected... Oh, no, that didn't work at all, did it? Undo. And that would be because... No, that's Clipper. So we can take the border away. I can make this disappear, but I don't know if... What do we got here? Can I do something with this craziness? I know I do have a special effect, and that might be making everything more complicated. The special effect is this. Here I am, peekaboo. Oh, I'm going away. Here I am. So I told YouTube that I was not making this for kids, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But the big question is, am I sending enough blinking pixels? Even if I can't really move this around. And you know, that's not true. I can. Give me a second. You can have the blinkies in here a little bit more than that. That might be enough happening to keep the YouTube stream going. I do feel that that might have been it. That might have been it, that it was not enough happening on the stream to keep it going. So now I have to move a little bit. And we shall see whether this preserves the life of the stream or not. Go figure. Anywho, it'll be nice if that does turn out to be the truth, like that was the thing. My LEDs blinking and blinking in the background there might be enough for YouTube to go, why, yes, that's fine. Enough is happening. We have a living stream. We don't have to buffer and random dance moves. It might be enough for it not to buffer. We'll find out. Anywho, here we are back on here. This is a static window most of the time when I'm not actually doing anything with it. And I can hit build. Build succeeded. Meaning that not counting like this. And this is set up so that it does a straight up low pass, but you can replace these other things with param C or apply some combination thereof. All the talk I was doing about what these filters actually mean, I probably don't have to worry about that. That's probably cool. I shouldn't need to actually put that in. And we're going to leave this stacked up the way they had it. Let's add even more comments to this for making it nice and tidy. I failed to do an S. I counted 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fair enough. Save, build, save, close, because I'm pretty sure we're super done at this stage. So we'll do a little final testing and then maybe just possibly get to do something else. Hard to say what. I'm pretty burnt at this point. That said, running into problems like the rise drums crashing, better to have that happen now than to have it happen when I'm making the actual video. Yeah, random dance moves to make what YouTube happy. Fair. Clearly that's what they want from me. Clearly they want me to have a dance party. It sounds like fun. Also, I'm cropping. I keep, like, if I'm sitting up, I'm off screen, so I gotta adjust that too. Give me a second. Alrighty. How are we doing? Is that comfortable? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I am bummed out about losing the Minecraft server. I still wonder whether maybe somebody knows how to do this. It powered down when I had it unplugged for the people installing the oil tank, and then it shut off, and it had been running continuously for months and months and months and months. And then when I plugged it back in, it powered up again. It was still connected to the internet. It was still connected to the network, but you couldn't reach it anymore. And I don't know why, and I don't know how to fix it. It's powered on right now, and I don't know how to reach it. So, sadness. Again, I did save the world from the Minecraft server, although I doubt anybody has been there anytime recently, but I did save the world from the Minecraft server. So if it comes to it, if I cannot make it come back to life ever, I can at least make the world downloadable so that people can have that. That's like the least I can do. Although I would much rather be able to let people log on again. But that might be beyond my capacities. Anywho. Here's our condition for it being broken. And here's what the plugin is going to look like. Let's actually set it to, it starts up like this. Clearly and obviously a thing. We can set it to its extremes, at which point it seems much like if it was bypass. If you have a quiet little sound like this, it's not likely to be clipping real hard or anything. And let's see what happens if we hit it with something else, like for instance this track, which has extremely loud bass. And let's make it resonant loud bass, and let's make it clip. Yep. So you see, you can make it misbehave. It just resists it slightly. And no crash, we're good. And let's throw it at something else while we're at it. Like for instance, how about the Novation Summit? This was a decent sound. It's just, well, it's a little dark, so it's not going to do a lot of wild Airwindows-y swooshes. We resonate it. Maximum resonance, 3 dB peak. So that's definitely what I was shooting for filter-wise. And the Alpha Juno has very similar characteristics as far as the honking mid-range of the over-resonance. So we can try it on this and see if we can double emphasize. Here's where we're starting. We're not doing much filter sweepy on this. Now, does this sound anything like the filter which is already here? I'm going to say, yeah, that's actually doing a fairly decent Alpha Juno impression. That pleases me. I'm happy about that. So you can't actually turn the Alpha Juno up this much. It doesn't resonate this far. But it'll give you this kind of intensity. What country is this live from? I am in Vermont, the United States. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Airwindows Island? I don't know, though. Other people with their names in Island have made bad showings of that. Maybe I don't want to go there. The default of 0.5 is probably about what you get for making it sound more like an Alpha Juno. We can go a little more resonant than that. Not unlike what the actual synth sounds like when you roll it down like that. Cool. You know what? I'm satisfied. That'll do. That will do. Airwindows is basically me. Go to airwindows.com. And if you like plugins, you can download many of them. They're free. Enjoy. It's like an open source project kind of thing. I do wonder whether I should shuffle this around a little bit. It's hard to be in frame properly. That said, the stream isn't dying nearly as much as it was. In fact, maybe I can reframe that again. Let's see. Don't mind me just fussing with stuff as I am wont to do. Yeah. There. Yeah, good point. Good point. Let's put the final detail on 2 tape 9. It's 357. So before I do that, let's fix this so that it has the same conditions as the other. Or I wonder if I can... Hang on a moment. I don't see an option for copying groups of things like this. And that makes me sad. Edit. Edit is showing me absolutely... Oh, no, it came. It's taken forever. OBS is bugged. Copy. Let's go over to here. Here's this one. We'll make that go away. And let's see if we can paste a reference. It's not letting me paste a duplicate. Oh wow, things have gone all kinds of crazy now. Look at that. Oh dear. I did not expect that. Didn't expect that. So that is the one I'm trying to remove, which I believe. Nope. Yep. Yes. Then that goes away. And why am I seeing multiple me's? I've got whole sets of them. Okay. Have fun. Definitely laugh. This is absurd. I'm seeing even more things than you are. I'm seeing all this mess. But the basic concept is sound. Also, we can show text here too, apparently. Alrighty, so that's weird. Everything's weird. Okay, that's the screen capture. Got the audio capture. Here's the animated thing that moves. I don't know how I did that. That is a video capture device, which is not actually giving me audio or nothing. Maybe what I do is I just start undoing. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Oh no. Okay. And having done all that, we're just trying to reproduce this. So on my screen, this says 241 pixels from the top and 626 pixels from the side. Logically then, if we take this little guy, (242 pixels from the top. That's not the same size though. That's because I moved it and rearranged it. Let's just fuss with this until it seems decent. I'm doing my best. The hope is that all this nonsense helps the stream not drop all the time. And like, what's not to like about blinking lights in the background, I ask you? Blinking lights are nice. We like blinking lights. So I had this being smaller, even much smaller. I cannot seem to duplicate this and copy it and paste it, but what I may be able to do is just get it roughly the same. I'll just keep crossfading back and forth. Oh, now it's complaining that the bitrate is too high. Cool, okay, that's better. Presumably that's better. And then if I scooch down here and over here, and then zoom in just enough to shift clipper a little bit. Oh, look at my face going all wonky. I'm blurred because I'm fading between the two things. And you know what? I'm going to say that'll have to do. Hopefully that will suffice. Anyways, back to this world, and we're going to see whether I can go and get my damn tacos. Probably I can. Most likely I can. Wood stove can. And we will find a groove. Set this a playing. I will be right back. was not the letter that I was looking to get, but it was a letter for a housing inspection, which is also part of this stuff. Oh wait, I'll make this stop. Boop. And boop. Yeah, that wasn't the letter that I was anticipating, but it was a different one, which establishes that, in fact, the agency can, in fact, mail me. So there is that. And I will have a further conversation with them tomorrow, if I'm lucky, and we'll just see what happens, because, damn, I am about at my limit as far as that kind of stuff is concerned. We shall see. But as far as this stuff is concerned, this stuff with the audio and the coding and stuff, I can do something here too. Let's do something before the stream is out. First thing I would like to do is demonstrate what I'm probably going to be dropping this weekend, because none of this stuff is going to be ready. It's Thursday. I've spent the entire day not successfully getting these things finished. Or rather, like, okay, Clip Only 3 is finished, Toro is finished. None of those are VSTs yet. I have all that work to do. But what is ready to go is this. We're not hearing it there though, because I don't think it's bright enough. So let's play something else that might actually produce the kind of thing we're talking about. I suppose I could try the drums, or just throw some noise. Let's try some noise. And let's see, what slew 4 was that? We do not have this ready. Fine. You can do this. Because this is slew 4. It's not really compressing anything. But it should tame highs nicely. And I could even demonstrate what it's doing with an improvised effect stack. So if we do this and then we do this, this, here's what that looks like. Told you it rolls off real good. And here's what that is doing. We'll max out range low. My apologies for the completely impossible frame rate. I can't do anything about that. So here's a bunch of noise. We can apply an averaging filter and then another. When you apply the other, it's stacked up in such a way that you get a node out of it, but we're also pulling the farther end down even more. And that continues as we continue to go. Like, look at that, the next filter along, that split the previous two in half. We started out, and you can't see it because it's under my face. We've got this going on so that you can still be streaming, and sadly I have outwitted myself. Let me fix this. There you go, now we can see. So now we can do this. Another level kicks in. It starts rolling off sooner, and we've cut each of those lumps in half, taking them down like 12 dB or more, and it only continues from there. The next one, cut those ones in half. Then we cut those ones in half because we're picking particular sizes of averaging filters. They're all having that effect, but they're being selected because they sort of split the difference between the previous ones. So now that we've done that, all of our higher frequency stuff are like hundreds of dB down. It's done a really effective job of just nuking all of the highs to beyond all reason. And that's what we get out of it. As you can see, I've pinned the meter and it's like 176 dB down. Here's 108, and literally everything past this point is filtered to beyond all reason. That from this. See, I pick the intermediate stages, and it keeps kicking in earlier and earlier, but it's also suppressing everything else. Even though it's a little bit irregular, it's suppressing everything else over there. And it works at 44.1K as well. Start rolling off even sooner then. Here's the max. It is now rolling off before 3K. We're already like 84 dB down, just with averaging filters. And here's all the weird, quirky, extra stuff happening, because you're not supposed to be able to do that just with averaging filters, but we did. And we go a little bit higher. The way it's scaled, it'll go farther before kicking this in. Again, it's 190 dB down at the very bottom. So 96 is like CD threshold quality. So it's acting like a kind of slant filter. And that is nothing compared to what you can do at 192K, where it'll even go fairly far down from that. Observe. And again, we keep bringing more and more of them in the higher the sampling rate is. You keep doubling it. And you get to where you can have it 96 dB down at 10K at 192K. I'm going to put this out this weekend because it's a part of some other things as well. And of course we can use this on audio, as in music. For instance, here's the 96K Alien Kittens. You can see it's not really a 96K file. It's a 44.1K file that's been upsampled. And it's not having to do very much on the high, so that's interesting. Let's go find something else this will show up, because it sure showed up in all that noise. Pull span back up. Span is sitting here at the moment. I have to get to this. Let's see whether Discord Welcome Home shows me anything more. Because again, this is slew 4. This is for suppressing obnoxious high frequencies. Maybe the stuff we're working with doesn't have obnoxious high frequencies, whereas the noise super totally did. There's no point pulling span up. Span is a wreck. Yeah, you can hear that. Span's useless, but you can hear that. In fact, let's stop this. Let's find that section where it goes something very strange. It's here. I know, it still is. So this is the mix down that's not meant to be particularly obnoxious. But you can do this. It says compress for a reason. So what you do is you find the thing that's obnoxious, and this is only at 44.1K. Alien Kittens didn't have any S's, and it did not have as annoying high frequencies as some of this other stuff. What else can I do? Let's take a vocal. And I'll make it louder, because otherwise I might wind up with some problems. Okay, that's louder. The passing of seasons. Cool. S's. So this is not specifically a de-esser because it is tracking acceleration, much like my acceleration plugin, but this is the new way of doing it. Remember how you were looking at the white noise? And the white noise is guaranteed to have so much energy in it that it just kicked in immediately, and it was able to smush things really hard. Well, don't you recognize the passing of seasons? 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 Bypass. Don't you recognize the passing of seasons? List. Don't you recognize the passing of seasons? Don't Major you list. Recognize the passing of seasons? Don't. And that's maybe not even the best example I could come up with. So let me peek around and see if maybe there's anything else that I can do. Oh. Let's play with this guitar. Might or might not change it. Okay, and that one it's invisible. That does not have high frequencies enough to become a problem. So this is going to be amusing to demonstrate. Maybe I'll have to bring some noise around. What else have I got? Must be something. Well, I could try drums. These drums had enough highs in them. I'm not sure if this was enough highs in them to cause a problem. Okay, yeah, I hear a little bit of this. So there's hats, but then you can smush them. Again, here we are with slew 4, and it does appear that it is running a compressy kind of thing where it's paying attention to whether there are highs in there or not. Oh, this could be amusing. Let's see what it does here. Slew 4 at full crank on the sweep up. Voila. It does not like those supersonic frequencies at all. We've told it not to have any of those. So there you go. But this is not specifically and exactly what I'm putting into 2-tape 9 and 2-tape 9 mono. Instead, we're going for the thing that's already out there that you have in tape hack 2, because that would be the logical thing. And maybe we'll just update the clip only in there while we're at it. Why not? Sounds like a plan. It's a unit. Let's do it. So firstly, I gotta, let's see, we're in Mac AU. Tape hack 2 is what I'm looking at. It contains pre-tape hack. Because remember, tape hack doesn't have any stored variables in there. It is a variation on the pure saturation code. Tape hack is nothing but a, what do we call this? Also, I'm going to have to get, I can't get this out of this. I have to get it out of the VST because I need left and right. But tape hack is nothing but a transfer function. It's like doing sine, only it's a little different and more complicated. And this, we got left and right channel, so we don't get to take it from here. We have to take it from elsewhere. VST version will have it. And I don't get to do the clip only 3 yet because I don't have the VST version for that. Oh well. One thing at a time. Here's the left and right version. We'll just leave clip only 2 alone for the time being. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to have this completely and totally done. But it goes in here. Oh, also I didn't have to have this. I got to have that. That goes up here. This is going to be replaced by clip only 3. So I'll be able to get that done by the time this comes out. 2 Tape 9 will also include an update from Clip Only 2 to Clip Only 3, but it's also including the update for Tape Hack 2. And you've never heard it with Tape Hack either. That was an earlier experiment. And then here we are. Looks like we're applying this twice, I guess. Yeah, no, here's where our code is. So we sandwich Tape Hack with this. That's what Tape Hack 2 did. Seems legit. We'll do it. So here's this. Did we need to do anything here? No. Those are gains. We do need this. Overall scale has to have this spacing thing in here. Oh, wait, I've already got a spacing, which I believe is replacing something. So edit all in scope. That should show me where this is. There's our tape hack. Hit bump. Interesting. Clip Only 2 is also using spacing. So to change it, we got additional adjustments to do. Probably okay? Question mark. We've just changed that on the fly, so now it says sluicing and is operating in a different thing entirely than the spacing, which is assigned to Clip Only 2. So that gets to stay. We're not screwing with that at all. Now we have 2 of these. Maybe they'll be consolidated, maybe they won't. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. But that is what I need in order to be able to move forward with this. And it's a local variable, so it doesn't change any of the other stuff that I did. So now, here's where we get up to here. Ignore the rest of this stuff. Ignore that. Ignore that. And it needs to go here. And here. Although in theory I could put this other part after the WD code. It's a thought. But the this other part goes before this. So this stuff runs raw. And then we hit this bit, and here's where we slot in. Where it says begin tape hack. This code should be identical. Looks pretty identical. So we got that, but we stick all of this stuff in here first. From here on in. And this space. begin tape pack 2. At which point we've darkened it appropriately. It's able to scale up to very high sample rates, but most of the time it's not going to be doing that. It'll keep things fairly simple if it can. Then, here's our begin tape pack. Save that there. That makes it slightly different from what's on the website, and that's fine. Doesn't do any harm, it's just a comment. And now we start over with this. Where does it go? It could go right here. And maybe that's a fine idea. More controllable, less susceptible to having something go weird if I'm doing like something funny with doubly, or if I'm doing something funny with the head bump. Didn't mean to do that. So after the final degenerate series of Taylor, it's this. We don't have a stereo version of clip only 3, not at this time. But if this builds, and I think I have to build it twice because I've cleared its, it clearly doesn't have any of its headers. Component result does not name a type means I've never compiled this before. See if it works the second time. Hey. At which point that's done. Then we move it to here. Oh, no, hang on. We can't use it quite like that. Got to do it again. And I'll tell you why. Because I think it had the previous version loaded into the program. So we have to make the older item. Now we need to open up Twisted Wave. And open up a recent thing. Like, for instance, Old Faithful Discord. And we do have the mono. We do have everything ready for the mono. That's a thought. Heavy? To tape 9. Doing a pretty decent job. I forget what tape shape does. Okay, that's extreme. How about bias? overbias. You can definitely overbias it into completely failing to work at all. That is roughly the iron oxide old-fashioned old-school tape vibe. Pretty much. Kinda. Well, as long as we can do that, technically we can do this. We have a mono version of clip-only 3. And I can play it through in stereo just fine. All that's going to happen is the flutter is not going to be like accurately modeled physical piece of two-dimensional tape flutter. Instead, it's going to be just literal dual mono flutter. So that'll be a separate different thing. But all of this stuff can be used directly as it is. Firstly, tape back 2, same deal. We'll copy that, paste it in here. I guess after this. Here's this bit. We'll copy this stuff. And paste it in after the hysteresis again. I don't know if I have. I don't remember actually making that hysteresis be a real thing. I can't swear to you that that is actually modeling it. It's just doing something in my 2-tape that I liked at the time. So we're going to leave that alone. Then, lastly, we're going to modify this the same way I modify the other one. If I need to update all this, I can do so at my own leisure. I'm just not going to screw up the existing status of clip-only 2 just because I have this put in. They might end up being the same, or they might end up being something quite different. But if I have this called sluicing, that means that I can rename it independently, and that's useful. And that stuff has nothing to do with it. And we got to move into here to where. Okay, so tiny hysteresis. What does that even have to do with anything, I wonder? Not much. Yeah, I guess that's just kind of there. I guess that's just kind of there. And here's where our previous tape pack sits. That's exactly the same code as the other code. It's under me, and my window has to be huge so that YouTube doesn't freak out and be like, you're not sending any pixels. Oh no. But I can still select it just fine, and we'll do so. And this, and this, and this, and this, and then use the previously calculated depth of the filter, and here we are. Copy that. Paste it in between this and this. But now, only update after the post-distortion filter stage. I'm not really quite sure what that means. It's working fine. But wait, there's more. It's not able to build this just yet, but it should be before terribly long. It's chugging away. Build it another time, it should be cool. But wait, there's more. Here's where we can dive into clip only 3. And that is already set up. Or is it? I think it's not. That said, I bet I can make this do what I want. This needs to be all renamed to say L. Kind of like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and even this. However, we can deal with that separately. Firstly, I'm going to separately do that one. But we should be able to make all of these go simply by making local versions and renaming those. So we're going to copy that. We're going to update these. These are sitting in another file, so they're not going to be updated with what I do on the other file. So these are ready to go if everything else has been renamed to L. That is also ready to go for everything else that needs to be renamed to L. This, only bits of it here are this bit. So the rest of it doesn't matter. And most of this, like we're not even doing the what do you call it? There's something I usually do up here that I'm not. Let's just say that. This does use spacing, and we're using it the same way the previous one was. So that does stay the same way it was. But here's where things start getting different. That gets renamed to L. I think we can rename this. Let's see. There we are. And that's going to speed up my work for when I need to do the new version of it with, okay, and further. Because I'll go through the same code and I'll just rename it to R, at which point it should be fine. Then here. L. Here. My stomach's rumbling. I want my tacos. It's so soon for tacos. It's like 10 minutes and I get to have tacos. That's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. So this is done. This is done. These are all renamed. FPD isn't. But it can be. Here's where we get noise. And in fact, we can just simply use that over again and just delete this part the second time around and it'll be fine. And we can not declare that the second time and it'll be fine. All these things like this, we just only have to do it. We do it on the left and it becomes that, and then we do it on the right and it becomes that. Do we have a final slew being declared in here somewhere? Yes, it's here. So the second time around, we just don't do that part, and it's fine. And build to make sure it's still fine. Yep. So did we put it into these other parts? Probably not. Nope, doesn't look like it. It's down here at the bottom. Here we are. Let's update the FPD to FPDL while we're at it. Might have a couple of adjustments to make. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hello, what were you? Why'd you do that? Okay, that's more what I was expecting to see. And hit save on to the rest of the beast. This doesn't get made into a VST2 at all because we only use this for the end-to-end audio units. Here we go. Copy that. And it goes here. Bada boom. And then down here we go and find where it says clip only after all that stuff. And we're going to manually put in the FPDs correctly. Clip only 2, clip only 3. Boop. Here's one place where FPDL needs to be bumped up. There may be others. If so, we will find them by the errors being produced. And I can check up here because I bet you, nope, we're using that correctly there. And we do need to have it be here. Oh, there we go. Funny how I would make that be input sample L, but not also include the FPDL, but that's fine. See if it worked. I found one. So that's going to be in head bump somewhere. No, it was in Flutter. I have a random value in Flutter, which stands to reason. Of course I do. 1L, and we should be good, unless we're not. Nope, that looks like good to me. Two tape mono. We'll build again. This was already a mono version, so I did not have to port clip only 3 to VST to make it work. Drag that to components. You know what I'm going to do? Oh no, I'm not quite done with 2-tape 9 because the stereo version of that does need to use the VST version of clip only 3 to work. But this one may be done. The surround version of the new 2-tape may just be done. Let's see what we got. We'll do that again, and then we'll do alien kittens, and then I'll call it a day. It's been a pretty decent day. in terms of getting stuff done. Anywho, so Airwindows, audio unit version, RST for 2-tape 9 mono. Does it work? I think it worked. That worked. I feel like the guitars are rowdier. I can compare. This would be the same thing, but without the... hang on. Just make sure it balances and matches. There we go. Same thing, but without clip only 3. So cool. Then when I finally do add clip only 3, do I have some kind of volume thing going on there? How is it this much louder? Let's quickly fire up an effect stack before I go and have my tacos, which I'm going to do at the appropriate time, I may add. But before that point, the difference between 2-tape 9 and 2-tape 9 mono, these shouldn't be that wildly different. Let's start out at no extra boost. What do we got? This could be debugging time, honestly. Yeah, that feels about the same. Now, when we boost both of them as far as they can go, the only difference here should be the difference between clip only 2, clip only 3. Two. 3. Okay, that's straight up frickin' wild. Let's double check that, because I'm not sure I believe what I heard. That was a little intense. Back to not slamming the actual tape. Let's slam the output. This is post tape, so this should hit only the clip only algorithm. Clip only 3 is clearly better, and that's the only difference that it is. I didn't realize it was that much better. Dang. Yeah, so just for funsies, setting output back to 0.5, which is unity gain. Here's what it sounds like when you start pushing into 2-tape 9 mono with clip only 3 on the output. Oh, it faded out. So, more. That's pretty nuts. Yikes. Alrighty then. That's not coming out this weekend, but Slew 4 can. And that might prove useful for various high-frequency taming purposes. And this has been a long day in which I did not get the letter that I wanted from Vermont State Housing Authority, but I got a different one. So at least they can reach me if they want to. And we shall see. And with a bit of luck, I can talk to somebody there and we can figure it out. If not, we know that somebody from there is coming here for what's actually a Vermont State Housing Authority house inspection, which they do every year because of the situation. And I've never found a problem before, and I've always been like, I'd love some help getting my house painted or replacing this fuel oil tank, and then I ended up having to do all that myself. And hopefully everything's going to work out okay. But I'll tell you, if this 2-tape version is any indication, I should be able to put out some good plugins in the fairly near future. And with that, I bid you good night, or good dinner, or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm going off and having some tacos. And I'll be posting the new extremely transparent Slew 4 high-frequency tamer this weekend. I'll probably have to bring up white noise to demonstrate it, because on almost everything else, you can't hear what it does. That's intentional. And the technique which that uses is what made the difference between the previous version of 2-tape and the new version that I have only just demonstrated, which seems to be able to level houses. And with that, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.